Hi guys, welcome back to Careyberry. So today, as you can tell from the title, we are going to be doing a bit of a book haul. So I've been going a bit crazy recently and buying too many books, and I think I'm going to have to put myself in a book buying ban, which actually sucks because in 2 days the bookshops are reopening, and of course I am on a book buying ban from now, the time of filming this video. As I told my boyfriend yesterday when we were at the train station, and I bought 2 more books. He was like, oh, but aren't you on a book buying ban? And I was like, haven't filmed the video yet. So I gave myself a free pass, but now I am on a book buying ban. So yeah. I don't know how long for. Because I know that these are too many books to put on my dedicated TBR shelf, so I'm going to whittle it down first and then release myself from the pain. Let's get into it. I don't actually know how many books I've got here. Like, it's more than I thought, but we will find out, I guess. Yeah, there are some books on here that I had to get, and just other books. There are some books for uni that I've got that I will probably forget to talk about, but we'll try to remember. In fact, I'll do those first. But yeah, so we've got quite a few books here, and I'm excited about them. Some of them I've already read because I had to, and you will see why in an upcoming video. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first 2 books I want to talk about aren't bookish related. Those will be coming up in a minute, but these are for uni. So I've got 100 ideas for secondary teachers for outstanding lessons. So this is just a book full of tips and tricks to make your lessons better, because currently I'm training to be a secondary RE teacher, and there are some areas that I'm struggling with, as all teachers do. So I'm just gonna read this, try and think about how I can improve my practice, how I can improve the quality of education I give to the kids, and just how to kind of draw them in to the lessons and to manage their behaviour. And then the next book I got is Making Every RE Lesson Count, because I went to a seminar on this book by the authors, and I found it really interesting, and I took so many notes and then immediately bought the book with their discount code, because I just really want to make my lessons count. I want to engage kids, because to me RE is such an important topic to study, so I really want to kind of make the most of those lessons, because in a lot of schools RE isn't done the best. So yeah, I want to make the most of the lessons, I want to make them count, and I want to draw kids into them, you know. Okay, so now on to the actual books that you guys will be more interested in. Okay, so the first book I have got is The Twisted Tree by Rachel Birge. I got this book like literally right after I filmed my last haul, so right in the beginning of January, and I'm really excited for this. So I saw Ashley talk a lot about it. It was one of the Myth Take reads for the beginning of the year, and yeah, I'm just really excited about this. It's a kind of Norse mythology retelling, I think, and yeah, I'm just really excited to read this, and it just looks so cool. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I really want to get more into Norse mythology and read it. I'm meaning to read Norse mythology by Neil Gaiman to kind of give myself a basis of understanding, but yeah, I'm excited. Okay, and then the next 2 books were recommended to me by friends at uni. So the first one is Natives by Akala, and in this Akala talks a lot about kind of race and its relationship to a lot of societal structures in Britain. So I'm really excited to dive into this and see kind of what he has to say about like the links to colonialism as well, because I think this can only help me and also my teaching, how I can kind of draw those topics into RE and really kind of impact kids and get to know them better. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I've heard so many good things about it, and people on my course just could not stop raving about it, so I had to get it. So the next book I was recommended by a Korean friend who lived in China for a bit, and she recommended Pachinko for me, which is by Min Jin Lee, and it's just a beautiful book, but she recommended it to me at like, I think the beginning of February, like end of January period, and she was just talking a lot about like how I'd like this, and that she wanted to discuss it with me and have someone else to cry to. So I'm gonna read this. I'm kind of scared. I've seen a lot about it online recently actually, but yeah, I am really interested to read this. So yeah, I don't really know what it's about. I think it's about a Korean woman who maybe goes to live in Japan and is treated like a second-class citizen there. Yeah, so she goes to Japan and marries a Japanese man, I think, and is treated very much like a second-class citizen because she's Korean. So I think this will be a really interesting look into the kind of racism and nationalism in like East Asia. So that would be really interesting. So I'm not excited to read this, but I'm quite interested in what kind of topics this will bring up and how I can relate it to life here and the recent surge in anti-Asian hate crimes. Okay, so next I have a book that I was recommended by Rebecca from Rebecca Books, and that is Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. So Rebecca keeps raving about this. Oh my god, it matches my top. Anyway, Rebecca keeps raving about this, and she says that it's essentially kind of like a female version of The Great Gatsby. So immediately I wanted to pick it up, and she says like it's better than The Great Gatsby. Like every time you get her talking about it, she just talks really fast and really like passionate. So I'm really excited to read this, and it's actually quite small. It's smaller than I thought, so I'm very excited. Okay, so I got that from an independent bookshop near me, and then I also got Luster by Raven Liani, and I've heard a lot about this on Bookstagram recently. Like people have been raving about it, so I got this from the bookshop as well. Yeah, so this is about a black girl who goes into an open relationship with a married man, and he's white, and I think his kids might be black. And she kind of, and the mum is white, like maybe they're from an ex-marriage or something, but she kind of has this feeling to help the kids and to raise them like and get them to know their like black identity and culture and like hair and stuff like that. I think I'm not too clear because I haven't looked too much into this book, but I know people have been raving about it, so I'm quite intrigued. And again, it's much smaller than I thought. So yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see what this is about. Then I also got Don't Touch My Hair by Emma Dabiri from the bookshop, and this is a kind of short non-fiction, I think, about like black women's hair and black women themselves and how kind of racism and misogyny works. So again, I don't know too much about it, but I am really intrigued to read this, especially because I think in schools there is sometimes a thing, like a kind of stigma towards black women's hair, so I'm really kind of conscious of that, and I want to make sure that I know the significance and how important it is, and like little microaggressions to look out for in my classrooms and from myself potentially. So yeah, I want to make sure that I read this and really kind of get to grips with the diversity that is going to be in my classroom, so that I don't hurt anyone or allow others to hurt others. Okay, next I also got this from the bookshop. It's the Penelopiad by Margaret Atwood, and I'm super excited for this. I've wanted this for a while, and it's essentially the Iliad retold from Penelope's perspective. And I read 1,000 Ships. You guys know I loved it. I can't stop raving about it. And I loved Penelope in that, and I just, oh, she's a babe. I love her so much. But yeah, so I'm really excited to see like what Margaret Atwood writes Penelope like, and how it would be retold from her perspective, because I read 1,000 Ships and I just I wanted more, like I was just craving more Penelope, so I'm really excited for this. Next we've got Cinderella is Dead by Careyberryreads, and I've heard a lot of good things about this on Bookstore again, but also so that's why I got this, because I heard a lot of good things about it. But then when I first started at my placement school, I was in my class and I mentioned that I loved reading, and one of the girls in the class in year 7, so like 11 years old, she pulled this out of her bag and she was really excited and she was like, miss, have you read this? And I was like, no, but it's on my shelf. And like, she's so excited that I know what this is, so I'm also reading it for her because like she was just so excited, you know. It was really cute. But essentially this is a retelling where Cinderella, I think she comes back to life after like 200 years or something, or she was dead and then there's a new Cinderella and something. But I know that it's got a female romance, and yeah, I'm just really excited about it. So next we've got a graphic novel, which is The Sad Ghost Club by Liz Meddings. I've heard a lot about this, I've seen it loads, and I think most notably I saw it on Jodie's channel, Vanilla Moon, and I've been following them on Twitter ever since, and Instagram, and just seeing all these graphics. And essentially this is a novel about kind of loneliness, depression, anxiety, and yeah, it's just really sweet. Like I really can't wait to get into this. Okay, next we've got The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna, and I think I spoke about this in my anticipated releases video, so I'm not going to speak too much about it again, but it is just absolutely gorgeous, like wow. And I'm really excited about this, and I think essentially it's a story about a kind of tribal village, and they test the girls once they're of a certain age, and if their blood runs gold, I think, they're sent off to fight in for the king or the queen or something like that. I can't remember, it's been so long since I actually got this. But yeah, I am very excited for this, and it's just gorgeous. I've heard so many good things about it. I'm going through these so quicker than I thought. I'm really impressed with myself. Anyway, next we have Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, because I've got Six of Crows. I've had that for a while, as you'll have seen in my last book haul, but I'm reading the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and then I'm gonna go on to Six of Crows because I noticed the crows were in the show, and I don't want to get spoiled on what's gonna happen because I know Crooked Kingdom's been out for ages, and once the crows are in the show, people are gonna be talking about them, and I want to be up to date on what happened because I'm pretty sure I've been spoiled already, but I can't remember. But I know that once the show comes out, people will be talking about it again, and I'm much more likely to get spoiled. So I'm trying to read them all before the show comes out. So good luck to me. But yeah, very pretty. Matches my Six of Crows edition. Okay, and then next, speaking of Shadow and Bone, I kind of messed up, and you will see this in my vlog of me reading the Shadow and Bone series, but I didn't realise that Six of Crows would spoil what happened in Shadow and Bone. So after reading Shadow and Bone, I immediately bought Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising and read them both because I couldn't move on and I wanted to read it all before the show comes out. So I bought them both and I read them, and yeah, well, you'll find out my thoughts in my vlog, so stay tuned for next week. Okay, and then I also got A Witch in Time, which is by, who's this by? Constance Sayers, and I honestly can't remember what this book is about. Like, I'm not looking at the blurb right now, so that doesn't help. Yeah, so I put this on my wish list a while ago because I think I saw it in, was it Frolic Through Fiction? It might have been one of her videos, if not someone else's, but I saw someone recommend it, and then I was buying something from Amazon and it, like, I was like, oh, I'll just check my wishes, and it was £2 and I was like, okay, I'll get it. So I got it, and yeah, it's just beautiful, but I am excited to read it. I remember hearing about it and being like, that sounds really good. Can't remember what it was about. Ooh. Okay, so I've just looked at the blurb really briefly, and it sounds like it's about this star-crossed love through time, so I'm very excited for this. Okay, and then next, I am so excited for this. I got Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart, and I think this was also in my most anticipated releases video, but I was very kindly sent this as an ARC. It's a finished copy, but they have sent it to me before publication, so I am very excited. So thank you Hotkey Books, and thank you Shannon Smart. I am just so excited. Like, I've heard so many good things about this, but essentially it's a Jamaican inspired fantasy about, I think they might be sisters, but I can't remember. But it's about two women, one who is the daughter of the queen and doesn't want to be sacrificed by her to kind of sustain herself. Like, I think the queen sacrifices her daughters so that she can stay young and stay on the throne and stay powerful. And then there's also another girl who is kind of in exile and is wanting vengeance and stuff, and I just think it's going to be so good and I can't wait. I'm just so excited. So yeah, this is very high on my TBR. Okay, and next we've got some hefty boys. So I've wanted to read this series for a while now because I just see so many people raving about it and I want to know if it's worth the hype. But I bought it because I bought Shadow and Bone too late, and now they all have book stickers on them, and I hate book stickers with a passion. So as soon as it was announced that A Court of Thorns and Roses was getting a series, I immediately bought the books so that I wouldn't get the like non-removable book stickers, and they came in a set. So like they're a huge set. But yeah, I immediately bought them because I didn't want the book stickers, because I hate book stickers with a passion, as I'm sure loads of you do. Especially like the non-removable ones, they annoy me so much. But yeah, so this is coming to, is it Hulu, I think? But yeah, I had to buy them so that I would not be in pain for the rest of my life looking at the book stickers. So yeah. Finally, these are the books that I bought yesterday when I was technically not on my book buying ban. We were on the way home from central London and there was a WH Smith's with buy one get one half price, and I just couldn't not. So I got American Gods by Neil Gaiman, which is another chunker, but I really want to watch the Amazon series because I've heard a lot of good things about it. But I wanted to read the book first, and I really like the way that Neil Gaiman writes, so I had to get it. And then I also got this book, Voices of the Windrush Generation by David Matthews, and I didn't really look too much at this. I just saw it and immediately picked it up and I was like, yes. And unfortunately I don't know too much about the Windrush Generation. Like, it's not something that I was really taught in school, and is something that only as I've kind of grown and looked more for these things and noticed it, like online, on media, like in the kind of disparities that the Windrush Generation faced, that I've noticed. So I've only really heard about it recently and I want to know more. So I just had to pick this book up, and I actually can't wait to get into it and kind of learn more, because I think the Windrush Generation was a whole load of people came to the UK from, I think, Caribbean islands, and they were treated very much like second-class citizens, like doing kind of the worst jobs and just being treated awfully. I think Go and Another goes into this a bit, I remember, but it's also like their kids and how they're treated. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to get into this and to find out more about the Windrush Generation and the after effects on the black community in Britain. Okay, so those are the 23 books that I've hauled recently. Have you read any of them? Let me know in the comments. If you also want to get any of them, let me know. I will tell you what I think when I've eventually read them. Don't hold me to that. Could be 5 years before I read some of them. Who knows? But yeah, let me know in the comments, have you guys bought any books recently? If so, what have you bought? And yeah, just comment something. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to me if you haven't already. I aim to post new videos every week, and yeah, I just make lots of bookish content. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.